Hello folks, Wednesday 29 of January. So I'm going to go straight to the point because, my time is limited. I didn't publicly disclose that I was investing in Altimoon, because, I was receiving some sensitive information that I don't want to publicly share in an audio. So I prefer not to talk about it in this channel. Now I do this video just to protect retail from being, ignoring what's going on and basically trade on the wrong side of the story. Why today? Because during the night there was a public offering of 17 million, roughly 17 million shares for a total amount of $75 million. So naturally, market sell on the news. But I want to explain to people who don't understand the dark side of the story what's going on here, because it's very important. I will not come in this audio with the whole story. I mean, if you want to understand, make some DD, go on stock tweets, read, some explanation. It will be too complicated to talk about that now. Roughly, ALT have a molecule that deserve a buyout offer from $5 to $10 billion. Now, the weak side of the story was that ALT was controlling $200 million, and that's not enough to finish a phase 3 test. So they were weak. If you put above that big short position from shorts, around 30%, I think, from the float, plus, a lot of paid bashers pushing it down, basically criticizing every day on every social media. Before this offering, ALT was weak. That means that a buyout candidate can offer $3, $4, $5 billion, and being in a position where they know that ALT cannot ask for more because without the buyout or the partnering, they can't go at the end of the story. Now, the story of change. Actually, in my perspective, it's a good dilution, and I want to explain why. Because one, we have the de-risk news that ALT will go at the end of the story by going to phase 3. That means we are de-risk, and the money is there, around $300 million total. One. Two, mean that a big institution have some guarantee and some conviction that push him to invest $75 million in this company. This is a big amount. This is a big amount that you don't push if you don't have some conviction. So these new shares will go directly to the institution and will not hit the market. This is a private investment, basically ALT making a kind of pleasure to an institutional to have 17 million shares at a discount. This is not public dilution with millions of shares hitting the market. Vanguard and BlackRock was already in the stock. Now this new institution increase or open a new position on ALT with certainly some warranty that they received during the JP Morgan conference a few days ago, that there is a connection. But what you need to remember and understand is that with the kind of result in phase 2 that we just received in December, plus the amount of cash that ALT is having right now, plus the new team and management and all that, who is fully connected to Sanofi in France and Gilead in the States and all that, now ALT is in a position to ask for a lot more money for their product. In my view, by doing this move, they can ask between 5 to 10 billion instead of 2 to 4 now. You know? So personally, I prefer, because the total dilution is not a big deal. You are going from 100 million to 117 million. That's peanuts, you know, that's nothing. But if by doing that, you receive a buyout offer of $60, $70, $75 end of the year, I prefer to wait a few months and receive this kind of amount instead of 2 or 3 billion now. That will result in $20, $30 per share. You know, we are talking about a lot of money, and these people have not millions of shares to basically leave on the table billions of dollars. They don't care about short-term retail who say, oh shit, I buy at $6, now it's $5. You know, what they see is the final target. And if they can have $75 instead of 30 end of the year, they will do it. And if some small fish like us cry or are unhappy, they don't care. You know, that's plain and simple. So you need to understand that this is a game of chess. If ALT want to receive a decent offer, and a decent offer under 5 billion is an insult if you compare to the other company and the result that they have in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So now the CEO of ALT need to be very smart. And here is sending a message. We have a great molecule. We are going to go all in until the end, and now we have the money in hand. We have a bank who have confidence in us, who push $75 million. If you want to buy us out, you will need to pay the right price. And if you come in the office offering less than $5 billion, we don't want to receive you. Plain and simple. But if they didn't have the cash and the confidence from this institution, they were weak. And certainly that if they receive a buyout offer from Sanofi at $30 per share, all the shareholders will be screaming and jumping, accept, 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 because they see they can have a 7-8 bagger. So by doing this, they certainly put some short-term weakness in the price. I don't know, because sometimes you are surprised with dilution in the biotech. The price is going even higher because this stock will not be available in the market. And some buyers say, oh, a big fish want to buy all this amount of shares. That means that we are going north here. So let me buy now. All depends. It's very difficult because we are in phase 3 here. We are not in phase 1. If you do dilution in phase 1, it's not the same thing. Here we are making dilution to go into FDA validation. This is the end of the story, not the beginning. So it's a form of confirmation for the market that ALT have a real molecule that have a future because the bank have just pushed all this money into it. Naturally at a discount price, but you still need to push the money. And I think they will directly receive the 17 million shares, and you will not see these shares in the market. So be very careful, because you will see a lot of theory and bashers jumping all around ALT. And unfortunately, people who don't really understand how these things go will be pushed out and will be surprised by maybe the reaction of the price suddenly. Because, in fact, now, the buyers who was waiting to make a low offer to ALT, they know they can't do it anymore, because ALT can go by themselves. So that's changed the whole picture in the middle term. But honestly, if you receive tomorrow $20 to $30 per share, and you can receive the double a few months in the future, imagine you have 1, 2, 3 million shares. That make a lot of difference. And you cannot leave this money on the table for small fish retail who just, want to receive some quick money. That's impossible. They have other plans. So I just want to explain that now. I urge you to make your DD, go check comparison and the result, phase 2, with others, the buyout price of the others in the sector, the advantage that this molecule have. Certainly one of the biggest advantages is that, and plus having the fact that you lose weight, you have a lot of tolerance and not a lot of secondary effect. Plus, you are not losing a lot of muscle when you lose weight in comparison with the others. So it's a real differentiate molecule that have possibility to have great success for some people who gave, some doctor who will like the profile and the fact that there is not a lot of secondary effect. Plus, you don't lose a lot of muscle when you lose weight. Plus all the others advantage of the molecule that I don't want to come here because it's too long. Yeah, there is a lot of DD on the Reddit and stock tweets about it, where you can educate yourself on why ALT is a great prospect. I just want to stay focused on the dilution story, because people will show this as bad, and in fact it's not at all. It's a de-risk situation now, where they can go all alone and they can command a bigger buyout offer by being in this position. So if I was the CEO, I will do exactly the same, saying if we don't receive the right price, we go all alone. And if you want to buy us, now that we have $300 million, you will need to pay the right price. We are not here to be sold at $20, $30 per share. We want $60, $70. That's the message that the CEO is sending to the market. Naturally, you will have some short-term reaction. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody. But people will think about, and some investor will understand what's going on and, take the right decision. Thank you for listening. Take care.